one-run trot.
Watch out.
So Christopher making his first start at third base of the season on the throw over to.
You know what gets him here is he backs. He wants to get the good hop. It's the double clutch. One thing that they're going to have to live with is they're going to have to live with some of this until he develops.
Leadoff is aboard now for Josh Bell. First pitch strikes continuing for Jamison. Oh.
The thing about Josh OPS, when he's behind, 204, 5.
Jamison's got him 0-2 here.
Secondary lead. Yeah, he doesn't look like a base stealer, but he moves pretty well. He's 5 out.
Joined by his brother Bo on the Guardian.
That has to be so cool, like to play with.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And think about a family having that much talent.
2-2 now to Bell.
It's outside. That
3-ball count for Jamison. Runner goes center. And that'll all 3 outs recorded in the third. Horner able to keep it.
An outstanding play by Nico Horner to get this. You can't play the shift, so they his time and makes a really good feed to Dansby Swanson. Dansby, and that's
one Major League Baseball that have tallied combined 18 outs above average.
pretty good together.
Yeah.
Guardians have tacked on another run here. Top 4 after the shutout yesterday.
A very good back end of the bullpen. Can't get too. Maybe get Savali out of there and see some other.
Runner goes.
Good decision by Gomes. To see, he sees it out of the corner.
Second stolen base of the ball game for the Guardians. Up for Cleveland. Swanson and Young duo. And a 3-0 lead for the.
Savali switches. Look at that fast.
More aggressive. You see his swing percentage 38.6, well below major. All things that you like. Try to do a little more damage.
Well, they need his bat to pick out in the second inning tonight.
Half on a strong note.
War is #1 amongst NL shortstops. Stop class of free agents in the offseason. In front.
You're talking about Carlos.
Another slow roller to third.
Well, Jared Young got his first major, and when asked what he was going to do with the ball, he said give it to his brand new comfortability of having been in the big leagues, although it was just a cup of coffee a year ago.
He had the 3 extra base hits in his first 3 games up.
That comfortability factor is so important for Young.
5th. By a pitch back in the first. As Jamison 2-11 in those games. To the last week as the Cubs have lost 1 out of 4.
I don't know. I haven't heard from any players, specifically saying that. I don't think I could pin it on that.
Of the offense, and sometimes it's fatigue. Where they're at in the standings, and they're right in the mix of it. Right, going the last couple days, quick turnaround. It's just been kind of a rounding the trip.
You get the split in England with St. Louis, and then you come home.
The All-Star.
Laces that one out to center. Bellinger over as his big night continues.
This time it's a. He really torches this one. Bellinger, who's so good out there.
Look at OPS against him. The left-handed hitters slugging pretty.
Yeah, they'll get a couple. Taylor?
When I was asking David Ross about what he can play at the top of the zone, and he feels like he needs to put hitters away earlier.
Ball, his changeup, his slider. Everything starts off with. He's had some injuries where there's been some years he hasn't thrown. Rosario. He got Stroman yesterday for a 2-out, and he did it again.
Back-to-back ball games with 2-run singles. A couple of runs in.
Yanked it down.
Enough, yeah. Sometimes if you don't have.
One of the things that I noticed on some of his pitches,
Chases Belly back to the track.
All in all, not a bad day to pitch here. Wind helping.
Yeah, the rally started in both the third. Slow roll to Young, and he'll.
You just got to take that ball to first base.
Seems like you should be, and they've had a frustrating road trip. Sometimes you just try to do too much base, and you see how he yanks that throw. He doesn't get his feet set, and they can get a double play here, but Bell seems to hit the ball in the air a lot.
One out for Josh, a couple of fly outs to center.
Players trying to do too much. Maybe they don't throw the pitch exactly where they need to, because as a manager, it's so important to keep a pulse on your players.
2-2 to Bell. Naylor. Yeah, so the only play would be to a double play. That might have been a slow enough roller anyways. Horner had to go to first.
JD, we've seen, it's in the middle of the pack. It's the motion. And they're going to make some.
They don't strike out a ton. Good team speed, whether it's
amongst the best in MLB. Putting the ball in play.
The Guardians, you'd love to have 2 or 3 impact. They have a lot of winning seasons, leaning heavily on their pitching.
Back on the grass, and a couple of the Expos back in the day. 86 games.
Terry Francona played parts of 10 seasons in the major league, but here's a heck of a run as a manager. All-time winningest.
It's brilliant with players. He's won in big market.
Don Gomes with the base knock. There's Trey Mancini in the 9th. 108.2, I should say, on the exit velo. Out since. Mancini out to left, and that'll drop in. First and third, nobody out, and here comes the chop.
From left field to second base, so he stopped and went back to first. But if that
for 2 with a couple of ground outs. 300 coming into this game with an OPS north of 80. Chopper to second. Only play will be the scoop.
I would imagine the Guardians thinking is.
Here comes Nico Warner. First pitch and a fly ball. Naylor in foul territory.
The Cubs and Windy City Smokeout have joined forces. Smokeout is in barbecue, not as in.
Then high fastball.
His last time up. Ramirez at third. To the 6th. He had Jake threw an inning against the Guardians on Friday.
And quite good for a good long time now. And Rucker getting 5-some has been lights out. 52 and a third innings combined, and it's Fab 5, you might say.
Yeah, that's the best bullpen ERA. Cubs 5 wins in front of where they were at the
today. I mean, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. They put the ball in play and they don't hit home runs.
Per game, 26th out of the 30 major league clubs.
Yeah, you look at what they've done, and who was very successful for them last year.
Yeah, the Guardians have started to make a move in the AL Central. Tomorrow they host Atlanta for 3, and then the Kansas City Royals for 4.
Competing tomorrow, Atlanta hit more home runs in the month of June than.
It's been terrible. Did I see the Mets went from like 3.5 games out to about 8?
Atlanta has the best record in baseball.
How you doing?
Kind of digging those hats. AL.
The Cubs acquired Jake Arrieta and Pedro Strop from the Orioles.
Here's Seiya Suzuki. Out to center.
The Cubs to the O's. Strop and the decision makers for the Cubs back in the day, and they'll be quick to remind.
Pitch swinging, looking for a gap, and it's 1-2-3 for Savali. Guys, we'll see if the Cubs bats can deliver, but first this pitching change for the 28-year-old lefty.
Yeah, just appearance number 7 at the big scoreless inning from Rucker.
6-1 Guardians, and then the Cubs were able to respond in the bottom of the 5th to get Jimenez has been a Jimenez. So
up against the fastball, home run out of the zone on the fastball.
Has a stolen base and has feasted on
about halfway through the season, so I'm sure Cleveland's hoping.
Train and get here and then run that lady down and get a ticket from her.
And today, Swanson, turned the glove.
Ball was knuckling a little bit on it. You know, sometimes you hit the ball so square when you see the ball doing that. And this ball just like, it was almost like a split. And that's why.
We're settling at a 1-2-3 inning.
2.73 ERA.
He'll be looking at the bottom night.
Angel was a guy at the time. There were a lot of days he would pick up for these Cleveland Indians.
.3-1 pitch. There it is. Look at that. Actual blue sky. Swing and a miss. Right now, Boston flirting with 500, but the other foes that will come.
Cleveland has done. Phillies ERA in the month of June was 3.
In terms of trying to gain. Sends one the other way. Will Brennan be tough to come by?
I definitely think so. And it's interesting. I look at it. I think that holds true for both central.
Going forward and how many wins that would add up to.